It comes in the deepest quiet of the night, doesn't it? A question that drifts in, not with a loud crash, but with the silent weight of a single snowflake landing in a vast, empty field. Who is left to remember with me? It's a question that holds within it the echo of 1,000 conversations, 1,000,000 shared glances, and the entire landscape of a world that now seems to exist only inside of you. It is perhaps one of the most profound and lonely questions a human heart can ask. And if you have found yourself asking it as you lie here on the edge of sleep, know that you have arrived in a place of deep and sacred recognition. We carry our lives within us, but what happens when the witnesses to that life, the co-authors of our most precious chapters, have quietly set down their pens? What do we do with the immense, beautiful, and sometimes heavy treasure of unshared memories? Tonight, we will explore this together. Not to find a simple answer, but to find a different kind of peace. By the time you drift into sleep, the journey we take will aim to transform that cold ache of being the last one standing into the quiet, steady warmth of being a keeper of a precious and irreplaceable light. As you settle in now, just take a moment. Consider the quiet space you are in. Perhaps it's late, and the world outside your window has fallen into a deep slumber. Or maybe it's those tender, early hours before the dawn, when the night feels both ancient and full of possibility. Whatever the time, whatever the place, know that in this moment, you are part of a silent and unseen community. In other rooms, under other skies, others are settling in just like you, seeking the same quiet harbor. There is a gentle, unspoken connection in the shared act of seeking rest, a quiet understanding that bridges all distances. So let this time be entirely for you. Allow your body to find a position that speaks of comfort and release. Feel the support of the surface beneath you, holding you completely, asking nothing in return. Let your head feel heavy and supported. And now, bring your awareness to your jaw. Without any effort, simply invite it to soften. Let there be a little space between your teeth. Notice if you are holding any tension there from the day, from the thoughts, from the words left unsaid, and just allow it to melt away. Bring that same gentle awareness to your shoulders. Let them drop away from your ears, releasing a weight you might not have even known you were carrying. Feel them grow heavy, soft, and wide, resting fully. And then, your hands. Whether they are resting by your sides or on your body, just allow them to be open. Unclench your fingers. Let the energy flow freely, releasing any need to grip, to hold on, to control. This is a time for surrender, a time for letting go. Tonight's journey is a gentle one. It is a pilgrimage from the feeling of being an island, isolated by time, to the feeling of being a sacred lighthouse, holding a light that guides and illuminates. We will walk together from that chilling feeling of being the final echo of a beautiful song to the profound and purposeful warmth of becoming the music itself. The path isn't about forgetting, nor is it about pretending the loneliness doesn't exist. It is about holding it with such tenderness that it transforms. It is about understanding that the very weight you feel is the measure of the love you have known. The stories you carry, the laughter that rings only in your memory, the specific way someone used to say your name, these are not burdens. We have simply been taught to see them that way. We have been told that grief is a process with an end, that moving on means leaving things behind. But what if that's not the whole story? What if the truest way forward is to learn how to carry these treasures in a new way, to weave them into the fabric of who you are now, not as ghosts of the past, but as the living, breathing essence of a love that time cannot erase. Think of yourself not as a survivor left behind, but as a guardian, a living archive of all that was good and true. The inside jokes that no one else would understand are safe with you. The cultural touchstones of your generation, the songs on the radio, the texture of the times, they live on, vibrant and real, within your heart. This is not a small thing. It is a sacred trust. Tonight, we will honor that trust. We will honor the part of you that has carried so much for so long. And we will begin the gentle process of turning that weight into a source of quiet strength, a gentle inner fire that can warm you as you drift towards a deep and truly restorative sleep. There is nothing you need to do, nothing to figure out. Simply allow my voice to be a companion in the quiet. Allow yourself to be open to the possibility that this unique loneliness you feel is not an ending, but the beginning of a new and profound relationship with your own life and with all the lives you hold so dearly within you. The journey begins now with a single, gentle breath, inhaling calm and exhaling the long, long day. Just this breath, and now the next. You are safe here. You are understood, and you are ready to begin. Let's begin by gently turning our attention to the nature of memory itself. A shared memory is a remarkable thing. It's like a bridge built between two minds, a place you can both travel to at any moment, just by a word or a glance. It's a private world, populated with its own language of inside jokes, its own soundtrack of forgotten songs, its own landmarks of shared experiences. When you hold a memory with someone else, it has a certain solidity. It's real because another person can confirm it. They can say, "Yes, I remember that." And in that simple confirmation, the memory is anchored in the world. It breathes. But when you are the only one left who holds that memory, its nature begins to change. It becomes something more ethereal, more precious, and at times profoundly heavy. This is the weight of unshared memories. It's the specific ache of hearing a song on the radio that you and a friend once sang at the top of your lungs on a long drive, and having no one to turn to and say, "Remember this?" The joy is still there, a bright flash of warmth, but it is immediately followed by the quiet echo of their absence. It is the bittersweet taste of cooking a family recipe, the scent filling your kitchen, a scent that once meant home and togetherness, and realizing you are the only one left who knows the secret ingredient, the only one who remembers the way it was served at countless celebrations. The memory is a treasure, but holding it alone can sometimes feel like a burden. It's the silent punchline to an old joke that only one other person in the world would have found funny. You smile to yourself, and then a wave of profound solitude washes over you. The joke is still funny, but its other half is missing. Think about those conversations that can no longer be had. This is a unique and subtle form of grief that we rarely name. It's the instinctive reflex to pick up the phone, to share a piece of good news, or to complain about a frustrating day, only to have your hand stop midway as the reality sets in. That number is no longer in service. That person is no longer on the other end of the line. It's the moment you see something in the world, a strange bird in the garden, a headline in the news, a scene in a movie, and your first thought is, "Oh, they would have loved this," or I have to ask them what they think about this. And for a split second, the world feels normal and connected. Then the silence that follows that thought is immense. It is a quiet, cavernous space where their voice, their laugh, their opinion used to be. This isn't just about missing people. It's about missing the person you were with them. It's about missing the effortless shorthand of a long relationship. You didn't have to explain the backstory. They were there when it was written. You didn't have to set the scene. They helped you paint it. This is why the loneliness can feel so acute. You are not just carrying the memory of them. You are carrying the entire shared context of your own life, a context that now resides solely within you. You have become the sole historian of your most important chapters. And while being a historian is a noble role, it can also be a solitary one. You are the keeper of the flame, but sometimes you may feel the cold draft of the empty room where the others who once tended the fire with you used to sit. Let yourself, just for this moment, witness the silence. Don't fight it. Don't try to fill it. Just notice it. Notice the spaces in your life where familiar voices used to be. Perhaps it's the quiet in the morning where a partner's rustling newspaper once was. Perhaps it's the stillness on a Sunday afternoon where the phone call from a sibling always came. This silence is not empty. It is filled with the resonance of what was. It holds the shape of the laughter, the debates, the comforting words. Like the impression left in a favorite armchair long after someone has risen, the silence holds the form of the presence that created it. There is a sacredness to this space. By allowing yourself to feel it, you are not wallowing in sadness. You are paying tribute. You are honoring the magnitude of the connection. The silence is not your enemy. It is a testament to the beautiful noise of a life fully lived and shared. It is the natural echo of great love and profound friendship. The weight of these unshared memories is not a sign that you are broken. It is the undeniable proof of how deeply you were connected, how richly you have lived, and how much you have loved. Every inside joke you remember, every forgotten song that plays in your mind, every story you can no longer co-tell is a thread of gold. Right now, it might feel like you are carrying 1,000 golden threads, and their combined weight is heavy. But these threads are what weave the magnificent tapestry of your life. Tonight, as you prepare for sleep, we are not trying to get rid of these threads. We are simply giving you permission to set the tapestry down for a little while, to acknowledge its weight, to honor its beauty, and to allow yourself a moment of rest from the sacred duty of carrying it. Just for now, you can simply be. The memories are safe, the love is secure, and you can allow the quiet to be a gentle blanket rather than a vast emptiness. You have carried enough for today. It is time to rest. As we drift deeper into this quiet space, let's gently explore another layer of this experience, one that can be difficult to articulate. It's the feeling of becoming disconnected from the present, not because you don't care about it, but because the very language of your life, the cultural bedrock upon which you built your understanding of the world, seems to have shifted beneath your feet. This is the feeling of being a living fossil. It's a stark and perhaps uncomfortable term, but it can accurately capture that strange sensation of being a perfectly preserved relic from an era that no longer exists. You are here, living and breathing, yet the world you were formed in, the world that made you, has vanished. The names that were once headlines are now footnotes in history books. The technologies that were once revolutionary are now quaint artifacts in a museum. The social norms and values that shaped your youth are now subjects of academic study, analyzed and deconstructed by generations who never lived them. To exist in such a state can be profoundly disorienting. It's as if you have traveled in time without ever leaving your home. This feeling creates a subtle but persistent sense of alienation. You walk through a world that is familiar on the surface. The streets have the same names. The sun still rises in the east. But the underlying operating system has been completely rewritten. The music, the slang, the social priorities, the very rhythm of daily life can feel foreign. And in this foreign land, you are a traveler with an outdated map. You hold the original blueprints, the foundational knowledge of how this place was built, but everyone else is navigating with a completely different digital interface. This isn't a judgment on the present. It is simply an observation of the gap that time inevitably creates. This brings with it a specific kind of frustration. The frustration of your life's context being lost on those who are younger. You might tell a story from your past, one that is rich with meaning and significance to you, and be met with a polite but blank stare. You realize that to truly make them understand, you would have to explain the entire world that story was born into. You'd have to describe the political climate, the social tensions, the popular culture, the limitations of technology, the collective hopes and fears of that time. You'd have to build an entire museum in their mind just to house a single anecdote. And who has the energy for that? So, more and more often, the stories remain untold. They stay inside, where their context is perfectly preserved, but they also remain unshared, reinforcing that feeling of being a solitary exhibit of a bygone age. This experience can lead to a quiet, existential dread. It's the fear of becoming obsolete while you are still very much alive. It's the worry that your wisdom, earned through decades of experience, is no longer considered relevant currency. The world celebrates the new, the next, the innovative, and it can sometimes feel as though there is little room left for the lessons of the old. You have navigated challenges, overcome obstacles, and witnessed history unfold in ways that younger people can only read about. And yet, that lived experience can feel devalued, like an old coin that is no longer in circulation. You know your own worth. You know the depth of your journey, but you feel the world around you is looking for something else. This can make you feel invisible, like a ghost haunting the edges of a vibrant, fast-moving party that you are no longer truly a part of. Let's sit with this feeling for a moment, without judgment. Let's allow that existential dread to be present in this safe space. What does it feel like in your body? Perhaps it's a coolness in your chest, a sense of being insubstantial, or a feeling of being behind a pane of glass, watching the world go by. Acknowledging this sensation is not giving into it. It is the first step toward understanding it differently. The feeling of being a fossil is born from a perspective that measures relevance by participation in the current cultural moment. But there are other ways to measure a life. A fossil, after all, is not just an old bone. It is proof of life. It is a record of existence. It holds the story of a world that would otherwise be completely lost to time. It is rare, it is precious, and it provides the essential context for understanding everything that came after it. The world may not always recognize this. The frantic pace of modern life doesn't leave much room for quiet contemplation of the past. But that does not diminish the truth of your value. Your existence is the bedrock. Your memories are the fossil record that proves the world you knew was real, that the loves you had were powerful, and that the life you lived has meaning that transcends temporary trends. The feeling of being a living fossil is a painful one because it implies being ancient, static, and no longer part of the living ecosystem. But perhaps we can begin to gently challenge that definition. What if you are not a static object, but a living bridge? A bridge is not meant to be the destination. Its purpose is to connect two different lands. It connects the solid ground of what was with the unfolding landscape of what is. Without the bridge, the journey is impossible. The connection is lost. The frustration of being misunderstood. The ache of your context being lost. These are the stresses the bridge endures. But its strength and its purpose are undeniable. Tonight, as you rest, let go of the struggle to be understood by the present moment. Release the need to prove your relevance. Your relevance is not in question. It is etched into the very fabric of the lives you've touched and the history you have witnessed. Allow yourself to simply be the bridge, strong, essential, and holding the wisdom of the earth it is built upon. Rest now, knowing your foundation is deep and your purpose is profound, even when it feels unseen. Now, as we hold these feelings, the weight of unshared memories, the sense of being a relic from another time, let us wrap them in a blanket of deep and gentle understanding. It's so easy, in the quiet of the night, to let these feelings curdle into a sense of personal failure. It's easy to think, I should be stronger, or I shouldn't feel so lonely, or perhaps I'm just not adapting well. But we must be very clear about this. What you are experiencing is not a flaw. It is not a sign of weakness or a failure to cope. This unique and profound form of loneliness is a testament to a long and deeply lived life. It is the natural, inevitable, and sacred grief that comes with the privilege of longevity. Think of it this way. A life without deep connection is a life without this kind of grief. A heart that has never loved deeply will never feel the ache of its absence. A person who has never woven their life together with others will never feel the threads fray when those others are gone. The very pain you feel, the depth of this specific sorrow, is a direct measure of the love and connection you have known. It is the echo of great joy. It is the afterglow of a brilliant light. To feel this way is to have earned a kind of emotional doctorate in the human experience. You have stayed in the classroom of life long enough to witness the full curriculum, including the final, most challenging lessons on love, loss, and time. This is not a pathology. It is a graduation. Let's normalize this experience completely. In a culture that often glorifies youth and fears aging, there is very little open conversation about this particular emotional landscape. We are given scripts for grieving the immediate loss of a loved one, but there is no widely understood language for the cumulative grief of losing a generation, a shared culture, an entire world of context. So when you feel this way, you can feel isolated not just by your circumstances, but by the silence of the world around you. You may look around and see no one who seems to understand the particular contours of your heart's terrain. And so you conclude that the terrain itself must be wrong. But it is not wrong. It is simply uncharted territory for many. You are a pioneer in this landscape, and like all pioneers, you may feel alone, but your journey is valid and real. The feeling you have is the natural echo of great love. Consider the physics of sound. When a beautiful and powerful bell is struck, it does not simply fall silent afterward, it resonates. The sound waves travel outward, vibrating long after the initial strike. The silence that eventually follows is not empty. It is pregnant with the memory of the note. The lingering vibration is not a flaw in the bell. It is the proof of its quality. Your heart is that bell. It was struck again and again by the beautiful forces of friendship, family, and shared experience. The feelings you have now, the loneliness, the sense of being the last one, are the lingering vibrations. They are the resonance of a life filled with profound music. To wish away this feeling would be to wish the bell had never been struck at all. And what a loss that would be. It is so important that you hear this, that you let it sink into the very marrow of your bones as you lie here, ready for sleep. You are not broken for feeling this way. Let me repeat that. You are not broken for feeling this way. You are human. You are a human being who has done the most human thing possible. You have loved, you have connected, and you have remained. Your heart is functioning exactly as a healthy heart should. It is grieving what has been lost. It is aching for what it misses. It is bewildered by the strangeness of its new circumstances. This is the proper response to your experience. Any other response would be less than human. To feel sadness is to honor the joy that came before it. To feel lonely is to honor the companionship you treasured. To feel a sense of disconnection from the present is to honor the deep connection you had to the past. Each of these difficult emotions is, in its own way, a love letter to what was. They are not problems to be solved. They are acknowledgments to be made. They are sacred griefs. We use the word sacred because these feelings are set apart. They are not the mundane worries of daily life. They touch upon the ultimate questions of existence, of meaning, of love, and of time. They deserve to be treated with reverence, not with impatience. So tonight, release the internal critic, that voice inside that might be telling you to get over it or be more positive. Gently ask that voice to step aside. It means well, but it doesn't understand. It doesn't grasp the scale of the landscape you are navigating. In its place, invite a voice of infinite compassion, a voice that says, "Of course you feel this way. Of course it's hard, and it is okay. All of it is okay." This isn't about resignation. It's about acceptance. It's about laying down the heavy burden of self-judgment, which is a weight you were never meant to carry on top of everything else. The grief itself is heavy enough. Let it be the only weight you carry right now. And soon, we will learn how to set that down for a while too. But for now, just this. Just the profound validation that your feelings are not just normal. They are the holy, human consequence of a life well and truly lived. Rest in that knowledge. Let it be a comfort. Let it be the soft ground upon which you can finally, truly rest. Building on this foundation of acceptance, let's now create a space of absolute, unconditional permission. As you lie here, breathing gently, I want you to extend a formal invitation to every feeling that arises within you. This is a crucial step because so much of our energy is spent resisting what we feel. We build dams against the river of our emotions, fearing we will be swept away by the flood. But the effort of maintaining those dams is exhausting. and ultimately futile. The river of life and loss is powerful, and it needs to flow. Tonight, we will give it permission to do so, safely and gently. So, let's begin with the sadness. Grant it full permission to be here. You don't need to dive into it. You don't need to analyze it. You don't even need to understand it. Simply acknowledge its presence. See it, perhaps, as a gentle gray mist that has settled in the landscape of your heart. It is not there to harm you. It is there to honor what is gone. It is the soft rain falling on the soil where beautiful things once grew. This rain is what allows new life, in time, to emerge. So let the sadness be. You can say to it, silently, in your own mind, "You are welcome here tonight. You have a reason for being. You don't need to leave." By welcoming it, you take away its power to overwhelm. You are no longer fighting it. You are sitting beside it, like a quiet companion. Now, let's turn to the fear. This is often the emotion we are most afraid of. The fear of being completely alone. The fear of your own ending. The fear that your memories will die with you. The fear of becoming ill or frail without your trusted support system. These are deep, primal fears. Let's give them a space to exist as well. Picture the fear not as a monster, but perhaps as a small, trembling child within you. It is the part of you that feels vulnerable and unprotected. What would you do with a frightened child? You would not yell at it or tell it to go away. You would draw it close. You would hold it. You would whisper, "It's okay to be scared. I am here with you. We will get through this together." Extend that same compassion to the fear within you now. Acknowledge its trembling presence without letting it take the steering wheel. You can be the calm adult in the room with your fear. "I see you," you can say. "I hear your worries. For tonight, we are safe. For tonight, we can rest." And then, there is another emotion that we are often told is not spiritual or proper to feel in grief: anger. But anger is a vital and valid part of this journey. You have every right to feel angry. Angry at the unfairness of it all. Angry at time for being so relentless. Angry at illnesses that took people too soon. Angry at a world that just keeps spinning, seemingly indifferent to the magnitude of your loss. This anger is not a negative force. It is life force. It is the part of you that is railing against the injustice of absence. It is the fierce loyalty of your love, expressing itself as a roar. Give that anger permission to exist. You don't need to act on it. You don't need to direct it at anyone. Just allow its fiery energy to be present. See it as a protective fire, burning away helplessness. It is the warrior part of your heart, standing guard over the sacred ground of your memories. Acknowledge its strength and thank it for its fierce protection of your love. By creating this safe, non-judgmental inner space for all these heavy emotions, you are doing something profoundly healing. You are stopping the internal war. The war between the part of you that is feeling and the part of you that thinks you shouldn't be. This internal conflict is what truly drains our spirit. When you allow sadness, fear, and anger to coexist without judgment, they begin to lose their sharp edges. They become less like terrifying invaders and more like temporary guests, each with a story to tell. They are simply messengers from your heart, delivering a report on the state of your soul. They are telling you, a great love lived here. A deep connection was forged here. A powerful life was witnessed here. This is the deepest truth. Feeling the depth of your loss is what honors the depth of what was shared. To To numb the pain would be to dishonor the joy. To suppress the grief would be to devalue the love. Your capacity to feel these difficult emotions is directly proportional to your capacity for love and connection. They are two sides of the same beautiful coin. You cannot have one without the other. So, when a wave of sadness comes, know that it is a memory of laughter. When a pang of fear arises, know that it is a memory of safety and belonging. When a flash of anger appears, know that it is a memory of fierce, protective love. These feelings are not the opposite of love. They are the shape that love takes in the presence of absence. As you lie here, preparing for sleep, imagine your heart as a vast and welcoming house. Tonight, you leave all the doors and windows open. Whatever emotion needs to drift in on the night air is allowed to enter. It can move through the rooms, and it can leave when it is ready. You are the quiet, steady owner of the house. You are not the storm, not the mist, not the wind. You are the space through which it all passes. There is a deep peace in this kind of radical allowance. It is the peace of no longer fighting with reality. It is the surrender that brings not defeat, but a profound and gentle strength. There is nothing to fix. There is nothing to suppress. There is only this moment, this breath, and the quiet, courageous act of letting it all be. And in that allowing, you will find the space to finally, truly rest. Now that we have created a space of gentle permission for all feelings to exist, let us move into a practice of release. This is not about pushing anything away or trying to get rid of your grief. That would be a form of resistance, and we are done with resistance tonight. This is about consciously choosing to set down a heavy load just for a little while, so that your body and spirit can experience a moment of true rest. The load will be there for you to pick up again tomorrow if you must. But for the sacred hours of the night, you deserve to be unburdened. Let's use our imagination, that powerful and gentle tool for inner healing. I want you to visualize the immense weight of being the sole survivor, the keeper of all these stories and memories. Imagine it has a form, a texture, a color. Perhaps it is a heavy, thick cloak, a cloak woven from every unshared memory, every conversation that can no longer happen, every echo of laughter in an empty room. Feel the sheer weight of this cloak on your shoulders. Notice how it might pull you down, making it harder to stand tall, harder to breathe deeply. This cloak might feel familiar, perhaps even comforting in its own way, because you have been carrying it for so long. It is the tangible proof of your love and your loss. Acknowledge it. Thank it for being a testament to your journey. And now, with great intention and tenderness, we are going to give you permission to gently set that cloak down. Just for tonight. Find a place in your mind's eye, a safe and sacred place to lay it. Perhaps it is a beautiful antique chest in a quiet room. Or maybe you fold it carefully and place it at the foot of a strong, ancient tree. Or you might simply let it slide from your shoulders onto a soft chair beside you. As you perform this interaction, engage all of your senses. Imagine the feeling of the weight lifting from your shoulders and your back. Feel the immediate lightness, the new space that is created around your neck and across your chest. Take a deep, conscious breath into this new space. Breathe without the pressure and constraint of that heavy cloak. Notice how your lungs can expand more fully. Notice the sense of freedom, however subtle, that comes with this release. You are not abandoning your memories. You are not betraying your loved ones. You are simply recognizing that you, the carrier, also need care. A dedicated guard at a sacred temple must also rest, eat, and sleep to be able to continue their duties. This is your time to rest from your sacred duty. By setting down the cloak, you are honoring your own humanity, your own need for restoration. You are acknowledging that the weight is real and that carrying it constantly is an impossible task. Just for tonight, you can be free of it. You can simply be you, a person resting, unburdened, and safe. The cloak will be there, waiting patiently, but it no longer has to be part of your physical being as you sleep. Now, let's deepen this sense of release with another image. Think of the currents of grief, the sadness, the fear, the anger we have already welcomed. Imagine these currents flowing within you like a river. For so long, you may have been trying to build a dam to hold it all back, fearing that the river's force would destroy the landscape of your life. It is an understandable fear. But what happens when a river is dammed? The pressure builds and builds. The water becomes stagnant, and the dam requires constant, exhausting maintenance to prevent it from breaking under the immense strain. Tonight, we are going to open the floodgates, not in a violent, destructive way, but with a conscious, gentle release. In your mind's eye, see this dam within you, and see that you have the power to open a sluice gate. Imagine turning a wheel or pulling a lever, and with a gentle rumble, a channel opens up. The river of your emotions begins to flow. It flows through you, and crucially, out of you. It is not flooding your inner landscape. It is moving through it on its natural course. Watch the current as it carries with it the debris of old pain, the silt of exhaustion, the fallen leaves of sorrow. It is a cleansing process. A river in flow is a healthy river. It is dynamic, alive, and ever-changing. It is only when it is blocked that it becomes a source of pressure and stagnation. Allow this river of feeling to flow. You don't have to name every emotion that passes. You don't have to analyze the source of every current. Your only job is to be the riverbed, strong, stable, and allowing the water to pass over you. The riverbed is not the river. You are not your emotions. You are the deep, abiding presence that allows them to flow. This is a profound shift in perspective. You are no longer trying to manage or control your grief. You are allowing it to move. And as it moves, it loses its power to build up and overwhelm. It becomes part of the natural weather system of your soul, a passing storm rather than a permanent flood. With each exhale, imagine you are helping this river along its course. Each out-breath is a release, a letting go, a gentle push that helps the current move toward the vast, open sea. The sea can handle it all. The ocean is vast enough to receive every river of sorrow without being diminished. Let your grief flow out into that boundless expanse. Feel the release of pressure in your chest, in your throat, in your belly. The tension is easing. The need to hold back is dissolving. You are simply allowing nature to take its course. The body and the soul know how to heal. They know how to process emotion. Our only job is to stop getting in the way, to stop building the dams of I should and I shouldn't, and to simply allow the healing waters to flow. Rest now in this state of flow, light, unburdened, and clean. There is nothing more to hold. There is only this gentle, cleansing current, carrying you ever closer to the peaceful shores of sleep. Having set down the heavy cloak and allowed the river of feeling to flow, we arrive now in a space of quiet clarity. From this lighter, more open place, we can begin to look at the nature of what we carry in a new way. For so long, perhaps, the memories have felt inseparable from the pain of loss. They have felt like a weight, a burden, the heavy price of a long life. But tonight, we will gently begin to shift that perspective. This isn't a trick of the mind or a form of denial. It is a subtle but profound realignment, like turning a crystal just slightly to catch the light in a completely new and dazzling way. Let's start with this idea. What if the stories you carry are not a weight, but a treasure? Imagine you have been entrusted with a chest of rare and precious jewels. Each jewel is a memory. A shared laugh is a sparkling diamond. A moment of quiet understanding is a deep, luminous pearl. A silly inside joke is a brightly colored sapphire. For years, you may have been carrying this chest on your back, feeling only its immense weight, hearing only the clatter of the jewels inside as a painful reminder of their origin. You have been so focused on the burden of carrying the chest that you have forgotten to open it and appreciate the magnificent beauty of what is inside. Tonight, let's open the chest, not to relive the pain of how you acquired these jewels, but to simply behold their light. Let a memory surface, anyone that feels gentle. Perhaps it's the memory of a particular smile, the way someone's eyes would crinkle at the corners. Don't focus on the fact that you can no longer see that smile in person. Instead, just for this moment, appreciate the memory itself. Appreciate its clarity, its warmth, its beauty. It is a perfect, flawless jewel that you hold in your heart. It is yours. No one can ever take it from you. It does not weigh you down. It enriches you. It adds to the incalculable treasure of your inner world. We can gently reframe our own identity in this process. The narrative we so often fall into is that of the survivor. And while you have certainly survived a great deal, the word itself can carry a sense of grim endurance, of being the last one left after a battle, haunted by ghosts. It is a heavy identity to wear. But what if we were to try on a new title? What if, instead of a survivor burdened by ghosts, you see yourself as a guardian of precious stories? A guardian is not a victim. A guardian is a protector, a keeper, a steward of something sacred. This identity is not defined by what has been lost, but by what is being preserved. It is an active, noble role. You are not haunted by the past. You are entrusted with it. This shifts everything. The energy of burden is heavy, pulling you down. The energy of guardianship is purposeful, lifting you up. A burden is something you wish you could get rid of. A treasure is something you protect with your life. The memories haven't changed. The facts haven't changed. But your relationship to them can begin to transform. You are no longer a passive recipient of painful reminders. You are the active keeper of a sacred legacy. The legacy of laughter. The legacy of wisdom. The legacy of love. Let this affirmation settle gently into your awareness as you drift towards sleep. The love you carry is a light, not a weight. Say it silently to yourself. Feel the truth of it. Love, in its purest essence, is not heavy. It is the most buoyant, life-affirming force in the universe. It is like light. A single candle can fill a dark room, but the light itself has no mass. It doesn't press down on you. It illuminates. It warms. It guides. The pain we feel is not the love itself. It is the friction of love meeting the reality of absence. It is the longing for the physical form that love once took. But the love itself, the pure energy of it, remains as a light within you. Every memory you hold is a beam of that light. The memory of a comforting hug is a warm, golden light. The memory of a challenging conversation that led to growth is a clear, focused light. The memory of a perfectly ordinary, happy day is a soft, ambient light. Your heart, your mind, your very soul are filled with this light. You are a constellation of 1,000 loves. And when you feel that sense of loneliness, it is often because you have forgotten that you are shining. You have mistaken the light for a weight. You have been trying to carry the sun on your back, instead of simply allowing it to shine from within your own heart. So, as you lie here, release the idea of carrying anything. You don't have to carry your memories. They are not a sack of stones you must haul up a hill. They are part of the very fabric of you. They are woven into your cells, your neurons, your spirit. They are the light that emanates from you. Your only task is to allow this light to be, to stop judging it, to stop labeling it as a burden, and to simply let it shine. This is the warmth you feel when a happy memory catches you by surprise. That is the love, pure and simple. It hasn't gone anywhere. It has simply changed its address. It used to live outside of you, in the form of other people. Now, it lives within you, a consolidated, powerful, and eternal flame. You are the keeper of this flame, not its prisoner. Let its gentle, steady light warm you now and illuminate your path into a peaceful, healing sleep. Let's deepen this gentle reframing, this transformation of your inner identity. We've touched upon the painful feeling of being a living fossil, a relic of a time gone by. It's an image of stasis, of being stuck in the amber of the past while the world moves on. It's a lonely and isolating image. But with our new understanding of memories as treasure and ourselves as guardians, we can now evolve this image into something far more beautiful, dynamic, and purposeful. Let's transform the image of a living fossil into that of a living library. A fossil is a trace of what once was, but a library is where the full story lives. It is a place of warmth, of knowledge, of quiet reverence. It is a place that is alive with the voices, thoughts, and dreams of countless others. And you, in your very being, are just such a place. Your mind is not a dusty attic filled with old relics. It is a magnificent, sacred archive. It is a living library, and you are its sole, devoted librarian. This is not a passive role. It is a role of immense dignity and importance. Consider the contents of your library. Each memory is a rare and beautiful book. A memory of your childhood home is a treasured first edition, its pages filled with the sensory details of sights, sounds, and smells that no one else can recall with such clarity. A memory of a long-lost friend's unique laugh is a slim volume of poetry, perfect and priceless. The story of how your parents met, as they told it to you, is a cherished work of oral history, passed down through the generations and now entrusted to your care. The collective memory of a cultural moment, a world event, a technological shift, a social change you witnessed firsthand, is a comprehensive historical text that no academic could ever write with such personal insight. Each story is a chapter that only you can read. You hold the unique key to understanding the nuances, the subtext, the emotions that run between the lines. Someone else might know the facts of an event, but only you know how the air felt that day, what was left unsaid. the private joke that was shared in the midst of it all. These are the details that give life its texture, its meaning, and they are all perfectly preserved on the shelves of your inner library. When you find yourself drifting into a memory, you are not being haunted by the past. You are simply walking down an aisle in your own library, pulling a beloved book from the shelf and rereading a favorite passage. Is there anything more peaceful or comforting than that? Realizing that your mind is a sacred archive changes everything. It means that nothing is ever truly lost as long as you are here. The people you loved are not gone without a trace. Their wisdom, their humor, their kindness, their quirks, they are all cataloged within you. They live on the shelves of your heart. A person's favorite song is a book in your music section. Their best recipe is a book in your culinary arts wing. Their most comforting piece of advice is a well-worn volume in your philosophy collection. The library is vast, it is rich, and it is endlessly fascinating. You are the living embodiment of 1,000 lifetimes of experience. This perspective offers a beautiful alternative to the frustration of being misunderstood by younger generations. When you try to tell a story and are met with a lack of context, it's not that your story is irrelevant. It's simply that the person you are speaking to hasn't spent any time in your library yet. They don't know the layout. They don't have a library card. This is not their fault, nor is it yours. But it can change your inner experience of these moments. Instead of feeling frustrated and obsolete, you can feel a quiet sense of stewardship. You can feel a gentle compassion for those who cannot yet appreciate the depth of your collection, knowing that its value is not diminished by their inability to see it. The library remains magnificent, whether it has visitors or not. The role of the librarian is one of quiet purpose. It is a life dedicated to preserving, protecting, and understanding the stories that have been entrusted to their care. It is a role that finds meaning not in external validation, but in the intrinsic worth of the collection itself. And sometimes, the librarian's greatest joy is simply sitting in the quiet, surrounded by the comforting presence of all those voices on the shelves, feeling the immense richness of the world they contain. This can be your experience of memory. It doesn't have to be a painful visit from a ghost. It can be a peaceful communion with a cherished book. So, as you drift deeper now, imagine yourself in this library. See the endless shelves stretching out, filled with beautiful leather-bound volumes. Run your hand along their spines. Each one has a name you know, a story you love. There is no sadness here, only a profound sense of peace and richness. All the love, all the laughter, all the life, it's all here. It's safe, it's preserved, and you are its guardian. This is not the image of a fossil, cold and stone-like. This is the image of a place that is vibrantly alive with the enduring power of the human spirit. You are not a relic. You are a repository of wonders. Let the quiet, comforting atmosphere of this sacred library be the space where you fall asleep tonight. Surrounded by the gentle, sleeping voices of every story you hold dear, know that you are profoundly rich, deeply purposeful, and whole. Rest now, wise librarian. Your collection is safe, and your work for today is done. Having embraced the dignified role of the living library, let us take this transformation one step further. We can now begin to reimagine your position in the grand sweep of time. So often, the fear that settles in the heart is that of being the last one, the end of a line, the final, fading note of a song. This perspective looking backward can feel incredibly lonely, like being the last person in a room after a wonderful party has ended. All that's left are the echoes and the quiet. But what if we were to simply turn around? What if instead of looking back at the empty room, we turn to face the door through which future guests will arrive? In doing so, we can reimagine your role not as the end of a line, but as the essential bridge between the past and the future. A bridge is one of the most powerful structures in human civilization. Its purpose is not about itself. Its purpose is connection. It exists to span a gap, to make a journey possible that would otherwise be impossible. It connects a known shore with an unknown one. You are that bridge. On one side is the rich, solid continent of the past, the world you knew, the people you loved, the culture you helped create. On the other side is the unfolding landscape of the future, the world of your children, your grandchildren, or simply the younger people who share the world with you now. Without you, without the bridge, there is a chasm. There is a disconnect. The past becomes a museum piece, flat and lifeless, and the future grows without roots, untethered to the soil that gave it life. You are the one who provides the context, the depth, and the roots for those who come after. They might be living in a world of instant information, where any fact can be looked up in a second. But information is not wisdom. A search engine can tell them the date of a historical event, but it cannot tell them how it felt to live through it. It cannot describe the hope, the fear, the uncertainty that was in the air. That is your domain. You are the keeper of the feeling, the texture, the human truth of time. When you share a story, even a small one, you are not just reminiscing. You are laying down a plank on this bridge. You are giving the future a way to walk back and understand where it came from. Think of all the casual, seemingly insignificant things you know that are, in fact, precious historical data. You know how to read a paper map. You know what it was like to wait for a letter to arrive in the mail. You remember a world before the internet, when communities were forged in different ways. You remember the introduction of technologies they take for granted. To you, these are just parts of your life. But to the future, they are primary source documents. They provide the why behind the what. They give meaning to a world that can otherwise feel chaotic and disconnected. You are the living link in a great chain of humanity. You are not the last link. You are the crucial link that connects what was to what will be. This perspective can transform your interactions. When a younger person doesn't understand a reference you make, it's no longer a moment of frustrating disconnection. It becomes an opportunity. You are the bridge. You can choose, if you have the energy, to invite them to walk across it for a moment. You can say, "Let me tell you why that was so important then." You are not demanding that they live in your world. You are simply offering them a guided tour, enriching their own. And even if you choose not to explain, simply holding this identity of the bridge within yourself can bring a sense of quiet purpose. You know your role. You know your importance. The strength of the bridge is not diminished if people choose not to cross it in any given moment. Its presence, its potential, its structural integrity are what matter. Let this affirmation settle into your heart. My life gives meaning to stories that would otherwise be lost. Feel the quiet power in that statement. It is a statement of profound purpose. You are not obsolete. You are essential. You are the conduit through which meaning flows from one generation to the next. Without you, the stories become whispers, then fade to silence. With you, they remain vibrant, instructive, and alive. Your very presence in the world is an act of preservation, an act of translation. You translate the language of the past into a living reality that the present can, if it chooses, learn from. To be a bridge is to hold a position of incredible strength. A bridge must be deeply anchored on both shores. Your anchors in the past are your memories, your experiences, your love. They are solid and unshakable. Your anchors in the present are your awareness, your breath, your ability to still feel, to still observe, to still be here now. By being present, you complete the connection. And like any great bridge, you have endured incredible stress. You have withstood the storms of loss, the winds of change, the constant pressure of time. And yet, you still stand. Your existence is a marvel of emotional and spiritual engineering. This changes the narrative from one of ending to one of service. Your later years are not a slow fade into irrelevance. They are the period of your greatest importance as a connective force. You have accumulated enough life, enough knowledge of the old shore, to be a truly magnificent and reliable bridge. This is a role that cannot be rushed. It can only be earned through the living of a long and full life. You have earned it. So as you rest tonight, let go of the image of being the last one. Release the feeling of being an endpoint. And instead, feel yourself as this strong, noble, and essential structure. Feel your deep foundations in the earth of the past. Feel your steady presence in the air of the now. And feel your gentle, hopeful reach toward the shore of the future. The world is more connected, more meaningful, and wiser because you are spanning the gap. Rest in this profound and vital purpose. Sleep now, great bridge. You are holding the world together. As we rest in this new identity, not a fossil, but a library. Not an endpoint, but a bridge. Let's now turn the light of our awareness onto a quality that has been present all along, but perhaps overlooked, your own incredible strength. We have spent time honoring the grief, the loneliness, and the weight. Now, it is time to honor the sheer, unshakable resilience that has allowed you to carry it all and still be here, breathing, feeling, and seeking peace tonight. This is not about puffing yourself up with pride, but about a quiet, honest, and deeply compassionate recognition of what it has taken for you to get here. Take a moment to truly consider the journey. Think of the losses you have navigated, not just as a list of names, but as individual earthquakes that shook the very foundations of your world. Each one required a monumental effort of rebuilding. Each one left a changed landscape that you had to learn to navigate anew. You learned to live with the aftershocks, to find your footing on uneven ground. You did this not once, but many times. This is not ordinary. This is the work of a profoundly resilient spirit. Your heart has been broken and has, against all odds, continued to beat. It has mended itself, not back to its original shape, but into a new form, a mosaic of love and loss that is both beautiful and incredibly strong. Acknowledge your own courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is feeling the fear and continuing anyway. Think of all the mornings you have woken up to a world that felt emptier, a future that felt less certain, and you still got out of bed. You still made the coffee. You still faced the day. These small, daily acts of choosing to live in the face of loss are the very definition of courage. It's the quiet courage of continuing traditions that now feel bittersweet, It's the brave act of allowing yourself to feel joy again, even when a part of you feels guilty for it. It's the profound bravery of staying open to life when it would be so much easier to close your heart down for good. You have been, and continue to be, extraordinarily brave. And let's honor your endurance. Endurance is the ability to keep going over the long haul, long after the initial shock has passed and the world's attention has moved on. Grief is not a sprint. It is a marathon through changing seasons. You've endured the long, quiet winters of sorrow, the sudden, sharp rains of memory, the sweltering heat of anger and frustration. You have walked on when you were tired, when you felt you had nothing left to give. This endurance is a quiet superpower. It is the steady, deep strength of an ancient tree that has withstood 1,000 storms. Its trunk is gnarled, its bark is scarred, but it still stands. Its roots running deeper with every passing year, still reaching for the sun. You are that tree. Your endurance is written into the very fiber of your being. Beneath all of this, the resilience, the courage, the endurance is your immense capacity for love. This is the source of all your strength. It is the love that makes the grief so painful, but it is also the love that gives you the reason to continue. Your ability to still love, to still care, to still hold the memories of your people with such tenderness is the ultimate testament to your strength. Many hearts grow hard with loss. They build walls to protect themselves from further pain. But your heart has remained soft, has remained open. That is the greatest strength of all. It is the strength of vulnerability, the strength that allows you to feel everything, the good and the bad, and to find the meaning in it all. Your love has been your fuel, your compass, and your anchor through the entire journey. Now, let's feel this strength not just as an idea, but as a physical presence. As you lie here, feel the collective strength of your generation living on within you. You are not just one person. You carry the echoes of the strength of your parents, your friends, your siblings, your partner. You carry their resilience, their humor in the face of hardship, their practical wisdom, their unwavering belief in doing the right thing. It is all part of your inheritance. This is not a burden. It is a powerful resource. It's as if their energy has been bequeathed to you. You are living now, not just with your own portion of strength, but with a share of theirs as well. You are stronger than you think, because you do not stand alone. You stand as a representative, a vessel of the collective, fortitude of all the people you have ever loved. Allow yourself to feel this power within your body. Feel it as a warmth in your center, a steady, solid core. Feel it as a deep rooting, connecting you to the earth. Feel it as a quiet, unshakable dignity in your posture, even as you are lying down. This strength has carried you this far. It has carried you through the unimaginable. And it is here with you now, a silent, powerful guardian as you prepare to sleep. You do not need to strive for it. You do not need to earn it. You only need to recognize it, to acknowledge its constant, faithful presence. It is the bedrock of your being. Rest upon that bedrock now. Let it hold you. Let it support you completely. You are safe. You are powerful. You are a testament to the enduring strength of the human heart. Sleep now, knowing you are held by a strength that is deeper and wider than you can possibly imagine. Having acknowledged the incredible strength that resides within you, let us now gently shift our focus once more. For so much of this journey, the natural focal point has been the absence. the empty space, the silence where a loved one used to be. This is a normal and necessary part of grieving. But for a little while, just for tonight, let's consciously and lovingly turn our attention away from the ache of their absence and toward the warmth of the presence you still carry within. This is not about pretending they are physically here. It is about recognizing that in a very real and powerful way, they have never left. Love, as we've discovered, is a form of light and energy. And one of the fundamental laws of the universe is that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only change form. The immense energy of the love you shared with your people has not vanished from the universe. It has simply changed its form. It has transformed from an external presence, a physical person you could touch and talk to, into an internal one. It has become a part of your own energy field, a constant, radiant presence woven into the fabric of your soul. Tonight, our practice is to simply tune into that frequency, to feel the warmth of that indwelling light. Let's invite it in, not as a painful memory, but as a living sensation. Begin by bringing to mind one person you love and miss. Don't focus on the story of their passing or the pain of their absence. Instead, gently call to mind the feeling of their love for you. What did it feel like to be loved by them? Perhaps it felt like safety, a deep sense that everything was going to be okay as long as they were there. Allow yourself to feel that sensation of safety in your body right now. Let it be a calming warmth that spreads through your chest. Perhaps their love felt like unconditional acceptance. You knew you could be your complete self with them, flaws and all, and you would be cherished. Invite that feeling of total acceptance into your being. Let it dissolve any self-judgment you might be holding. Maybe their love felt like pure joy, a playful, sparkling energy that always made you laugh. See if you can feel a flicker of that lighthearted joy, a gentle lifting in your spirit. You are not just remembering a feeling, you are reactivating it. The neural pathways, the emotional resonance of that love, are still present within you. You are simply walking down a familiar, beautiful path in your own heart. Do this gently. With another person, call to mind their unique essence. What was the quality of their wisdom? Was it practical and down to earth? Or was it philosophical and expansive? Invite that wisdom to be a comforting presence in your mind. It is still available to you. You can still access its guidance by asking yourself, what would they have said? What was the quality of their laughter? Was it a loud, booming laugh that shook the room? Or a quiet, gentle chuckle? Hear it in your inner ear. Feel the vibration of that laughter within you. It is not a ghost. It is a part of your own living memory, a joyful energy you can tap into at any time. By doing this, you are consciously shifting your focus from, I miss them, to I carry them. The first statement focuses on the gap, the separation. The second focuses on the connection, the continuity. Both are true, but tonight we are choosing to rest in the comfort of the connection. You are a walking testament to enduring love and friendship. This is a profound and beautiful truth. Let it settle deep within you. Every kind act you perform is, in part, an expression of the kindness they showed you. Every bit of wisdom you share is an echo of the wisdom they imparted. Every time you find the strength to persevere, you are drawing on the well of strength they helped you build. In this way, they are not just a memory you visit. They are an active, living part of who you are and how you move through the world. Imagine all this love, all this laughter, all this wisdom as an inner fire. For a long time, you may have been standing out in the cold, looking at the spot where the great bonfire of your shared lives once burned, mourning its ashes. But now, you realize that you have carried the embers with you. You have been building a smaller, quieter, but equally powerful hearthfire within your own heart. And tonight, you are consciously tending to it. You are adding the wood of warm memories. You are gently blowing on the embers with your focused attention. Feel the warmth of this inner fire grow. Feel it spread from your chest, down into your belly, out to your limbs, warming your hands and feet. This is the warmth of 1,000 memories. It is the accumulated heat of a lifetime of love. It is your personal, portable source of comfort and light. It can never be extinguished. It can warm you in the coldest moments of loneliness. It can light your way in the darkest nights of fear. You are not alone. You are accompanied by a lifetime of love. Feel their presence now, not as sad ghosts, but as warm, loving, and supportive energies that are fundamentally a part of you. They are the bedrock of your strength, the source of your wisdom, the light in your heart. You are a living memorial, not a tombstone. A memorial is a place where something is actively remembered and celebrated. By choosing to feel the warmth and light of their presence within you, you are celebrating them. You are keeping their essence alive and vibrant in the world. And in doing so, you are bringing a profound sense of peace and companionship to yourself. Rest in this warmth. Let it be the gentle, comforting heat that soothes your nervous system and allows you to drift into a deep, protected, and profoundly peaceful sleep. You are held, you are warm, you are complete. As the warmth of 1,000 memories settles within you, a deep sense of integration can now begin. Throughout this journey tonight, we have gathered several new ways of seeing, new identities to try on. We have moved from feeling like a survivor to a guardian, from a fossil to a living library, from an endpoint to a generational bridge. We have recognized our own profound strength and reconnected with the love we carry as an inner light. Now, in this quiet, pre-sleep state, we can allow all these threads to weave together, creating a new tapestry of meaning, a new and integrated understanding of who you are at this stage of your life. There is no need to strive for this integration. It is a natural process, like the way ingredients in a slow-cooking soup meld together over time, creating a flavor that is richer and more complex than any single ingredient on its own. Your new roles as keeper of light, living library, and generational bridge are not separate jobs you must perform. They are simply different facets of the same beautiful, multifaceted gem. They are different ways of describing the profound and sacred purpose that your life now holds. As you rest, simply allow these ideas to mingle, to inform and enrich one another. Feel how these roles, when held together, begin to transform the very nature of your loneliness. The ache of being the last one to remember a story becomes the quiet, sacred purpose of the living library, whose duty is to preserve that story. The sorrow of having no one to share a memory with is transformed into the noble task of the keeper of light, who tends to the inner flame of that memory, keeping it warm and bright for its own sake. The feeling of being disconnected from the younger generation is healed by the profound meaning of being the generational bridge, understanding that your very existence provides the essential context that connects the past to the future. Notice what is happening here. The loneliness has not been magically erased, but its character has changed. It is no longer a vast, empty, meaningless void. It has become a spacious, quiet, and purposeful solitude. It's the difference between an empty, abandoned house and the serene, hallowed silence of a great cathedral. The cathedral is also quiet. It is also vast, but it is filled with a sense of presence, of meaning, of sacredness. Your inner world can become that cathedral. The solitude you feel is the quiet space needed for your sacred work as a guardian and a bridge. It is not a sign that something is wrong. It is the necessary condition for your unique purpose to flourish. Let's consider the beautiful synthesis of these roles. As the living library, you hold the stories. As the keeper of light, you hold the love and the emotional essence within those stories. And as the generational bridge, you provide the context that makes those stories and that love meaningful to the ongoing flow of human experience. All three roles work in perfect harmony. You are the archivist, the curator, and the entire museum, all in one. This is not a burden. It is your mastery. It is the culmination of a lifetime of learning, loving, and living. You have graduated to a new level of being. Now, let this new, integrated understanding of your life settle into your bones. Understand that your presence enriches the world in a way no one else's can. This is not an exaggeration. It is a simple fact. You are the sole custodian of a unique intersection of memories, experiences, and love. That specific combination exists nowhere else in the universe. Your perspective is utterly irreplaceable. The world is immeasurably richer for having the library of your life within it. Your quiet, steady presence is like a deep bass note in the orchestra of humanity. It may not always be the melody that everyone is listening to, but without it, the music would be thin, shallow, and lacking in resonance. You provide the depth. You provide the soul. As you lie on the edge of sleep, allow this sense of quiet, dignified purpose to be your anchor. Whenever a wave of sadness or loneliness washes over you, you now have a place to stand. You can acknowledge the wave, let it wash past, and remain firmly rooted in this understanding of your sacred role. You are not just a passive experiencer of loss. You are an active participant in the great and mysterious dance of memory and meaning. You are weaving a tapestry. With the dark threads of sorrow and the bright threads of joy, you are creating a masterpiece of a life fully lived. And the final pattern is one of profound significance. There is a deep peace that comes from this integration. It's the peace of knowing your place in the world. It's the peace of understanding that your life is not winding down into nothingness, but is instead concentrating into its purest essence. You are becoming more yourself than you have ever been. All the non-essential parts have fallen away, leaving this core of love, memory, and wisdom. This is your legacy. Not something you leave behind, but something you are, right now, in this very moment. Let this feeling of wholeness be the final thought that carries you into sleep. You are not a fragment of a former life. You are the complete and beautiful summary of it, a living masterpiece of time and love. Rest in that completeness. Rest in that peace. As we drift now into the final quiet moments before sleep, let's allow all these ideas, the library, the bridge, the inner fire, to dissolve into a single, luminous, and comforting image. An image that can hold all the complexity of your journey in a simple, beautiful form. Let's look up at the vast, dark expanse of the night sky and find ourselves there. I want you to visualize each person you have loved and lost as a single, brilliant star. See them not as distant, cold points of light, but as warm, living presences in the great velvet darkness. Some stars are bright and bold, the ones who had a huge, sparkling impact on your life. Others are softer, subtler, twinkling gently, the quiet friends, the gentle relatives, whose presence was a steady, comforting glow. See them all, scattered across the immensity of your inner sky. Take a moment to populate this celestial sphere with their light. There is no sadness in this, only a quiet, breathtaking beauty. You are simply mapping the heavens of your own heart. Now, see yourself. You are not a solitary star, separate from the others. You are the constellation. You are the pattern, the sacred geometry that connects them all. It is your love, your memory, your life that draws the lines between these individual points of light, revealing a magnificent picture that would not exist without you. A single star is beautiful, but a constellation tells a story. It has a name. It has a meaning. It has been used for centuries by travelers to find their way in the dark. This is your ultimate role. You are the one who creates the meaning. You are the one who reveals the story written in the stars of your life. Feel this reality in your being. You are the living connection. The line that connects the star of your mother to the star of your best friend is a memory only you hold. The triangle that connects a sibling, a grandparent, and a beloved partner is a dynamic of love that now exists only within your heart. You are the celestial artist, the cosmic storyteller. Without you, they are just a scattering of beautiful but separate lights. With you, they become a family, a community, a legacy. They become a myth, a legend, a timeless story of connection. This is not a burden. It is a breathtaking honor. You give them a new way to shine together, to have a collective presence that transcends their individual lives. As you lie here, feel their light shining within and around you. This is not just a poetic idea. It is a felt sense. Feel the gentle, steady light of their wisdom illuminating your thoughts. Feel the warm, sparkling light of their joy touching your heart. Feel the strong, protective light of their love forming a luminous shield around you. You are sleeping tonight in a celestial cradle, held and protected by the combined light of every soul you have ever cherished. You are not alone in the darkness. You are the very heart of the light. The darkness of the night is not an emptiness to be feared. It is the necessary contrast that allows your constellation to be seen in all its glory. And now, the final, most peaceful step. It is time to release the need to consciously hold the stories. As the librarian, the bridge, the guardian, you have done your work for the day. A librarian does not spend the night rereading every book in the library. At the end of the day, they simply turn off the main lights, knowing that all the stories are safe on the shelves. A constellation does not strive to hold its shape. It simply is. The connections are real and abiding. They do not need your constant, conscious effort to be maintained. They are now simply a part of you. The stories, the memories, the love, they are as much a part of you as your own heartbeat, your own breath. They are encoded in your essence. So, let go. Release the conscious act of remembering. Trust that the constellation holds its own shape. Trust that the library keeps its own order. Your conscious mind can now rest. It can float. It can drift. As you release this last bit of effort, feel yourself becoming light. You are not just the lines connecting the stars. You are the light itself. You are a being of shimmering, peaceful energy, held in the perfect silent embrace of the night. There is no past, no future. There is only this peaceful, luminous now, this quiet, expansive, starlit presence. You are a constellation, and it is time for you to take your place in the quiet rhythm of the cosmos, to drift and to dream, to let your light shine softly and effortlessly as you sleep. The stories are safe. The love is eternal. The connections are unbreakable. And you are the beautiful living pattern that holds it all together. There is nothing more to do, nothing more to be. Simply allow yourself to be held by this vast, loving, and starlit peace. Let it carry you now into the deepest, most restorative rest you have known. As the image of the constellation holds you in its gentle, luminous embrace, a deep sense of peace begins to settle. This is the peace that comes not from forgetting, but from a new and more profound kind of remembering. It is the quiet knowing that you are not alone, but are in fact more deeply accompanied than you have ever been. Every star in your inner sky is a guardian, a silent, loving presence watching over your rest. Imagine them now, a silent circle of light, a council of protectors. They are the guardians of your sleep. The presence of these guardians allows you to finally, fully let go. You can release the hypervigilance that often comes with grief, the feeling that you must stay on alert, that you must consciously hold everything together, lest it all fall apart. You can surrender that role tonight. The love you have cultivated your entire life has now become a powerful, protective field around you. This field is woven from the strength of your father, the gentleness of your mother, the laughter of your friends, the wisdom of your mentors, the unconditional love of a partner. It is a fortress of light, impenetrable and serene. Within its walls, you are completely safe. You can lay down all your armor. You can be utterly vulnerable, utterly soft, and know that you are protected. Feel this protection as a tangible sensation. Perhaps it is a feeling of being gently held, as if you are floating in a warm, calm sea. Perhaps it is a sense of weightlessness, as if the gravity of your sorrow has been temporarily suspended. Or perhaps it is simply a profound stillness, a deep quiet in your mind and body that has been absent for a very long time. There is nothing to fear here. The night is not an adversary. It is a sanctuary. And within this sanctuary, your guardians stand watch. They ask nothing of you. They are simply present, their combined light, a silent lullaby for your weary soul. This deep sense of safety signals to your body that it is time for the great release of conscious thought. All day long, your mind has worked so hard, remembering, planning, worrying, processing. Now, its work is done. Imagine your conscious mind as the diligent captain of a ship. It has navigated the challenging waters of the day and has now steered the vessel into a calm, safe harbor for the night. The captain can now hand over the controls. To whom? To the ancient, wise, and silent crew that runs the ship below decks, the body's own natural wisdom. This is the wisdom that knows how to heal a cut without any conscious instruction. It is the wisdom that knows how to digest food, to fight infection, to regulate your heartbeat with perfect, unwavering rhythm. This deep, cellular intelligence is far older and wiser than your conscious mind. and its most sacred work is done while you sleep. During sleep, it repairs tired muscles, consolidates important memories while gently pruning away the unimportant, balances hormones, and restores the nervous system. Your only job is to get out of the way, to let the captain leave the bridge and go to his quiet cabin to rest. So, let go of the need to control your thoughts. Let them drift like clouds in the sky. If a worry appears, just see it as a small, gray cloud passing by. You don't need to climb onto it or analyze it. The guardians are on watch. The wise crew is at work. You can simply be the sky, vast and peaceful, allowing all things to pass. Feel the gentle release of conscious thought as a physical sensation, a softening behind your eyes, a coolness on your forehead, a sense of your brain waves slowing down, becoming long, gentle, rolling waves like a calm ocean tide. You are letting go of the tiller. You are trusting the deep currents to carry you. And as you release your grip on thought, you can finally feel the profound comfort of being held by the very memories that once felt so heavy. This is the final, beautiful paradox of our journey tonight. The weight you have carried for so long has been transformed. The heavy cloak has become a warm blanket. The heavy chest of jewels has become the starlight that illuminates your rest. The burden of being the sole survivor has become the honor of being the guardian. The memories are no longer a source of pain, but a source of profound, protective, and unconditional love. They are holding you. Their love is the mattress beneath you, the blanket over you, the quiet air you breathe. You are sleeping in a house built of love. Every brick, every beam was laid by a cherished hand. Rest now in this house. You are home. You are safe. And you are so deeply, deeply loved. The gentle release is happening now, a quiet surrender. The body's wisdom is taking over. The guardians are standing watch. The constellation shines bright. There is nothing more for you to do. Simply allow yourself to be carried into the deep, healing waters of sleep. You have done enough. You have carried enough. It is time to be held. And so, we drift now, on the edge of that final, gentle letting go. The language becomes softer now, more spacious. The pauses grow longer. There is nothing left to analyze, nothing left to understand. All the work has been done. All that remains is the simple, sacred act of surrender. The river has reached the sea. The ship has reached the harbor. The traveler has come home to rest. There is nothing more to do. Let that phrase be a gentle mantra. Nothing more to do. Repeat it silently. Let it be a soft, velvet curtain that closes upon the long, busy day. Release the sense of obligation. Release the need to remember. Release the effort to feel a certain way. Whatever you are feeling right now is perfect. Whatever state you are in is exactly where you need to be. There is no final exam. There is only this peaceful, open space. Nothing to hold. Imagine your hands, once again. Imagine them completely open, palms up, a posture of pure receiving. You are no longer gripping your memories. You are no longer holding the weight of your stories. You have released them into the great starlit library of your own being. They are safe. They are cared for. And your hands are now free. Free to rest. Free to be empty. Emptiness is not a void. It is a possibility. It is the quiet space into which deep rest can finally pour. Time nay 3-point droz. Simply rest. This is your only task now. And it is a task that requires no effort at all. It is an undoing, an untensing, an unclenching. Feel the final vestiges of tension dissolving from your body, from the tiny muscles around your eyes, from your jaw, from your shoulders, from your heart. Your body knows the state. It craves this state. It is its natural birthright, the state of pure, uncomplicated being. You are not a person with a history right now. You are not a person with a future. You are simply a body, breathing, a presence, resting. You have carried enough for today and for a lifetime. The weight of witness, the weight of love, the weight of memory. You have carried it with grace and with incredible strength. But the night is a time of reprieve, a sacred amnesty. You are pardoned from your duties. You are released from your post. The guardians have taken over. The constellation keeps its own vigil. Your only responsibility now is to receive the gift of rest, to allow your body and soul to be restored, replenished, and renewed. Is it not a wonder, this human life? To be capable of holding so much at once, such breathtaking joy and such profound sorrow, all in the same heart. To build worlds of connection, and then to learn to live in their echoes. To feel like the last one, and yet to discover that you contain everyone. What a mysterious and beautiful journey it is. We may never understand its full meaning, and perhaps we don't need to. Perhaps the meaning is not in the answer, but in the living of the question itself, with an open and compassionate heart. What if the ultimate purpose of carrying all this love is simply to become a being made of love? Not to tell the stories, not even to remember them, but to simply embody their collective warmth and wisdom. To radiate a quiet peace that comes from having seen it all and choosing love anyway. Perhaps that is the final destination of this long pilgrimage. Not a place of doing, but a state of being. Sleep is coming now. Feel it, not as something you must chase, but as a gentle tide, slowly and surely rising to meet you. It is the tide of the great cosmic ocean. It is coming to lift you from the shore of your waking thoughts and carry you out into its deep, quiet, healing waters. Do not resist it. Do not swim toward it. Simply allow it to lift you, effortlessly, gently. This gentle tide is carrying you to a shore of peaceful dreams, a place where all timelines converge, a place where conversations can be finished, a place where you can dance again with those you miss, a place where you are not the last one or the first one, but simply one part of a great, eternal, and loving whole. On this shore, you are whole, and you are so deeply, deeply loved. Rest now. Rest in peace.